What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Agent TSwandol, bringing you another Division video. Been absent the past few days this week. I've come down with some severe allergies. I have severe allergies to everything, and so it's really put a hurting on me. But anyway, I just want to give a shout out to a few people that have definitely made everything possible that I'm doing. First and foremost is Felix the Other. He's been a big influence on my gameplay and the way I play, and he's also definitely helped at sending people my way because I love this community. I want to see it grow. Another shout out I want to give to a subscriber of mine named Robert F, who gave me some really nice words of encouragement to continue on doing this. I have a full-time job. I work 65 to 70 hours a week, and this is a passion of mine, but I don't have much time to do it. I've wanted to do videos for a long time, but the truth is I don't have the time to edit videos and cut clips here and do retakes. So all these videos that I do, I live stream them. There's no second takes, there's no screw-ups and start over. This is all one continuous video. And until time permits for me to sit down and spend hours and hours on videos, this is just the way I'm going to do it, and that's fine with me because y'all getting raw and uncut. What happens happens. There's no oops, that didn't work, let me try it again. It's this is what the game is, and it is what it is, correct? Anyway, today I'm going to bring y'all a video. I get a lot of people that ask about PvP, how to PvP. There's no real tips on how to PvP. I asked that same question a long time ago, and I found out real quick that it doesn't matter what you do, what build you have. There is no magical build that's going to guarantee that you're going to win every fight you get in, or even 50% of the fights that you get in. But I'm going to give y'all a build that I personally like, and not only just for PvP. This is a build that I can run for PvE, and in fact I'll start out on the PvE aspect of it, and we'll finish it on the PvP aspect, and at the end I'm going to invite one of my good buddies that I run with, and I'm going to let him go rogue on me just so you can see the power of this build. But anyway, let's get it started here. This is the PvE version of my Banshee Tactician. And as you can see, I'm running with 5,968 firearms, 3,083 stamina, 5,970 on the electronics, with a skill power of 224,248. I always ask people, or people always ask me, what's your DPS? What's your DPS? If you're still asking about DPS at this point in this game, buddy, you are way behind. DPS is a number that means absolutely nothing. You want to look at the actual firearm stats and all the other stats that go with this build. So let's get it started. This is my PvE version of the build, and I'm going to start off with my Vigorous chest piece. I love it, and I can run this with PvP, but I'll explain to you why I don't here in a little bit. So my Vigorous chest piece is a firearms rolled Vigorous. It's a firearms rolled with skill haste, health, ammo capacity, and I finish it off with 267 firearm mods plus 3% skill haste. Everybody knows about the Vigorous. The overheal is extremely important. It's extra health. It's a perfect thing to have, and it's really a good thing to have in PvP, and there's a lot of people that run this build with the Vigorous, and I'll show you a little bit later why I do not. So we're going to get into the Tactician version of it first, then we'll get to the Banshee version of it second. My second piece I got is a Tactician's Mask. It's rolled to electronics. The major attribute is skill power. Minor is damage to elites. I would like to have burn resistant, but that's just the way it is. You don't get to roll two attributes on regular gear. I also have another Tactician Mask here. This one's rolled to firearms. It's got 3.5% critical hit chance and disorient, which critical hit chance is extremely important in any build. And I could re-roll this to electronics and then bring it back to firearms or stamina anytime I want because of the attribute that I have rolled. But I feel that the skill power is more important than 3.5% critical hit chance, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit. Critical hit chance is everything, but you'll see why I don't need that extra 3.5 right here. So next we're going to get into my gloves. Very good Tactician gloves I got here. Got lucky with 1,000 armor roll on it. It came with the 1267 electronics roll, which couldn't ask for more. Had 5% critical hit chance, and 8% skill haste, and I was blown away. And actually, to be honest with you, it even had 16% critical hit damage on it. They were almost god roll gloves, but I put the 1297 assault rifle damage on it. And then the nice thing about this is, being that attribute's the one, I've actually re-rolled it for SMG and assault rifle back and forth as needed for this build. You know, it does get expensive on the regular credits to roll it, but when you've got close to 1 billion credits, it's, you know, you got to have something to do with them credits. But having the two pieces of tactician, you know, if you don't know, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, the 2 piece is going to unlock the 15% skill haste. Skill haste is extremely important. The max skill haste that you can get in this game is 50%. And that basically is cutting all your cooldowns on your skills, on your or your signature link. It's cutting the cooldown of that in half when you can get up to 50%. Really the only builds that you can run 50% with is any version of a tactician build, whether it be a Banshee, Alpha Bridge, Nomad, you know, whatever build you have plus a 2-piece tactician, you can reach that 50% skill haste. If you don't have any tactician gear or any 2-piece bonus, the most you can get out of a gear, if you got max roll, skill haste on all your chest piece, on your holster, on your gloves, and then with all the performance mods, the max you can get would be 40. And 40 is great. 50 is even better. So anyway, alright, so there's our 3-piece with the Ninja Bike. I've showed people my Ninja Bike before. 1301 armor, 1268 on electronics. Came with 11,900 skill power and 49 ammo capacity. A lot of people want to have health right here. Health is good, don't get me wrong, but for this build, skill power is extremely, extremely important. I don't have my other Ninja Bike on me. It's in my stash. I have another one that is a health and ammo capacity. It is a stamina rolled, so it's my 1.8 one coming up soon. Alright, let's get into the Banshee part of it. Banshee is a gear set, to be honest with you, I never had any desire to run until one day giving it a shot, and now this is my go-to. This is my go-to set. It really is. These knee pads are armor 1563. I got a perfect firearms roll 1271 on it. It came with 15,000 health. Get damage to elites, blind, deaf, resistant. I had increased kill XP in that top slot right there on the minor, but to me, burn resistant was a lot more important than the kill XP. Not too much in the field proficiency farming anymore, and so I don't really care much for the kill XP. The Banshee runs a 2-piece, gives you 20% looted DZ funds, which is okay. I mean, you see the patch I got on my arm. I've wanted that one. It's the blood money one, so that kind of helped me get to that. The 3-piece bonus is where this becomes a really powerful set. 10% damage to target out of cover. That's great in PvP. You're always fighting people out of cover. But see, this is also very powerful in PvE also, because there's not too many NPCs that just sit behind cover all the time. Yeah, they'll jump behind it, but for the most part, Rikers, LMB, they're shotgunners, they're rushing at you. You're pretty much always going to get that activated. And even if they are down in cover, a lot of times all you got to do is just stand up, rush towards them, they'll come out of cover, and there you go. You get that 10% damage to targets out of cover. So, I'm not going to get into the 4-piece right now. Next, we're going to go over to my weapons. So right now for this one, I'm running a lightweight M4, 22% enemy armor damage, base damage 19.1k. This one I have competent, responsive, and adept. Adept is one of my favorite talents in the game. You will definitely find out here in a little while why it is. Sometimes when I'm running challenging missions or the legendaries or anything like that, I'll switch over to this lightweight. It's got a lower enemy armor damage roll of 19% and a little bit lower on the damage, but where it makes up for it, I have, of course, adept, competent, and then in the 3rd slot, I have ferocious. And everybody that does any kind of harder content in the game knows that ferocious can be very, very good. Sometimes it's not that great. I wouldn't recommend anybody running it on a hard mission, just because of the simple fact that you're not really fighting any elite or named enemies until the end of a hard mission. But on the challenging and legendary and even heroic incursions, it definitely does come in handy. If you see my last build, the Electric Nomad, you'll know that if you run Ferocious and you're running a turret, the turret also gains the Ferocious talent, and it gets 10% extra damage against elite and named enemies. But for this video, we're going to stick with this lightweight M4. I've got a beautiful 120.5 magazine size extended magazine on it with 3% critical hit chance, 5.2% rate of fire. And then after that, my Pro Red Dot slot has 19% crit hit damage, 3% crit chance, and 6% headshot damage. My large suppressor, which was on sale in the advanced weapons vendor in the base of operation a few weeks ago. I think I bought about 20 of them. It's God rolled, 19% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, 6% headshot damage. And then my underbarrel is the angled grip. A lot of people always want that small grip with more crit hit damage. That's cool. I mean, if that's what you run with, that's fine. This is what I prefer, that little bit of stability. It goes a long way with me. And then if I ever have to hip fire too, hip fire is not as accurate as it once was. And I don't care what anybody says, when you hip fire, that little bit of stability really does make a difference. If you don't believe me, go find a van on the side of the road out here on one of these missions, or out in the free open world, and just do some hip firing on a door with and without a angled grip, and just look at your look at the radius in which all them bullets land, and you will see a definite difference with that on. It helps out a lot. So my secondary weapon I'm running with right here is my Navy MP5N. It's got 20% critical hit chance. Looks like very low damage at 16.7, but I have competent, responsive, and unforgiven on it. I will also show you that I like to run with my MP5 ST. And this right here has adept, deadly, and unforgiven. I've had a ton of people say you don't need adept on an SMG because they already have high crit chance. That's not always the case. You know, that 21% is nice, but if I'm running a concealed pulse and I put it out, what if someone else has a concealed pulse? I'm not getting my crit chance from that concealed pulse, but I am getting the crit chance from at least pulsing 7.5, and then if I run a booster or an overdose, that's another 7.5. There's 15% extra critical hit chance that comes just by having adept on there, even though I didn't get it from my pulse. So it is very powerful. Right now, adept can be stacked up to 5 times. When 1.8 comes out, they're changing that where you can only stack it twice, and that's okay, because I've got a build where I can, like this build, I can stack it 5 times. I can time my pulse and my heal at a point to where the other one will be active before the adept timers run out, and I'll pop a pulse and it'll come back on, and then right before adept's about to run out, I'll pop another booster, and it'll, you know, the adept timer will go right back. There's 15 seconds, and you know, I don't mind it being that way, but I can also understand not everybody knows how to build like this to take advantage of it, and it did kind of create a big skill gap, which, you know, there's a lot of people that don't like the skill gap in the game. There's a lot of people that like the old skill gap in the game. I guess that's just your preference. So anyway, let me quit rambling and get on to the next one. I like my double-barreled sawed-off. I think I've talked about this before. I don't really care too much for commanding, but I do like the talented. And then, of course, predatory. Especially in PvP, when you get somebody on the ground and they're crawling, as long as there's not an immediate threat, another one of their teammates right around them, if he's solo, or even if there's 2 of them and one of them takes off running, you got a guy down, you double tap triangle, you pull out your shotgun, you run over, you melee him with it, you get the predatory, the 35% health regen over 20 seconds, and then talented, which that 15% skill power can just be monstrous, especially if his friend comes back real quick for more. Now you have either a super strong booster shot, or you have a pulse that's even more powerful than it was before, and sometimes that could be what puts you in an advantage, because if you're rogue hunting or you're not the rogue, you'll always be at a disadvantage. The rogues will always have a jump on you. I don't care about the rogue 2.0 coming out. They will always have the advantage on you. So you got to be prepared at all times, and you know, you win one. It's not very fun to beat one rogue to go down to another one immediately because you weren't prepared. So you want to make sure you're prepared at all times. Sometimes after I pop my recovery link or my defensive link, whatever, my survivor link, whatever I'm using, I'll switch over to this officer's M9A1, mainly because I have cool headed on it. Now I've tested this out numerous times and I've become a huge fan of it. These are the only two sidearms I really run with anymore. If you have your signature skill on cooldown and you need to get it back quick, maybe you're not PvP, you're not in another PvP engagement at that time, you know, let's say you kill 2 rogues but you know they're coming back, or let's say you go rogue on somebody and your skill your signature gets popped and you know they're going to be coming back, I'll pull this pistol out and I will run up to some random NPCs and just sit there and headshot them, fall back a little bit, headshot, and you know, within 20 headshots you've got your signature skill back, and that has come in handy numerous times. It's actually saved me, whereas on other times they would come back and they'd get the better of me because I didn't have that recovery link or the survivor link, but this way, by the time they get back, I'm ready to go again. I'm waiting for them, and you know, they're not gonna get away that easily. So next we're gonna run with my abilities. Because this is the PvE aspect of this build, I chose to go with the tactical scanner right now. So here's where my skill power of 224,000 comes in handy, big time handy. So this tactical scanner, every time I pulse out, gives me 21.5% crit hit chance and 28.7 crit hit damage. That is a extremely powerful pulse. I don't know if you've ever run in a group, or maybe you've run one that strong before. When I used to farm for Barrett's chest piece or the Urban MDR, I would do random matchmaking on Lexington. There were numerous times that I would be running and I'd put a pulse out there, and these random guys in the group would just sit there and go, "Who's got that pulse? Oh my God, that's amazing." They'd say that, "Man, we haven't shredded people like this, and we can't tell you how long, dude. That thing is powerful." And that's a pretty cool feeling when you have people asking you, "Dude, what do you got? What, you know?" Especially when I tell them that I'm only running like 18.9k damage on my lightweight, because the most common question they'll see when they see me go shredding people is they'll go, "What gun are you running?" And it's like, it doesn't really matter what weapon I'm running. What talents you have on it. It's like, listen, I'm just saying, man, it's. If you're going to be viable, you've got to stack into electronics. Raw damage is nice, but you know what good is 25k damage going to do you if you got a 35-second cooldown on your heal or on a pulse that only gives you 4% crit hit chance? It's not going to do anything. Next is my booster shot. Love the booster shot, especially with this one. It gives me a self-heal of 144,000. That's extremely nice. And with me running my Vigorous, that's going to create an overheal. So I don't have to go with the Overdose, which the Overdose gives you a really nice heal of 240,000. But that 240,000, I mean, if I'm at 1 bar of health left and I hit Overdose, of course it's going to give me a full overheal. But if I'm at 1 bar and I pop the booster at 144,000, it might not give me a full overdose, but it's going to give me about half of my overdose. And to me, that's more important, because along with that booster shot comes a 15% damage increase boost and a 15% damage resilience. And so you can see your toughness actually go up. So that to me is so important. And sometimes I run a booster even without my Vigorous. The overheal is very important, but sometimes just that damage resistance, to me, the damage resilience and that damage boost has kind of given me the edge in a one-on-one with somebody. So I'm going to get on my talents here. I got Triage. A lot of times I'll run with the group, but a lot of times I'm a solo player. I still run Triage as a solo player. Sometimes I'll trade it off for One is None or Precision, one of these two. Good thing about Triage is if you have critical save put on, which I recommend everybody needs to have it, do not put Adrenaline on. It's the absolute worst talent in the game. But if you have critical save, when you are in your last segment of health and you pop that med kit and critical save activates, Triage will even activate, even as a solo player. Then I run with Strike Back. So you got to think that's 15% cooldown if triage gets corrupt, and then strike back 20%. So you're looking at a 35% cooldown on your skills. That's massive. That's massive. The last one I got here is on the move. Shouldn't have to, explain that. I'm sure most people run with it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'll get back to this 35% cooldown if I pop a med kit in my last segment of health. That's huge when I have a 20-second cooldown on my, when I have a 20-second cooldown on my booster shot and a 22-second cooldown on my pulse. That 35% is massive. It is completely, that puts it down to 16, 17 seconds. In any battle, as long as you're not outnumbered and cornered, you can usually jump around for 15 seconds and wait to get that heal back. So that is my PvE version of this build. I'm not really going to do any gameplay on the PvE version of it right now. I will show y'all some PvE version soon, but I'm going to switch over to my 4-piece PvP. I'm going to give you a few tips on PvP. If you are looking for a build that will cause you to be the Dark Zone boss, that you'll just walk in and just shred every rogue that comes in your way, or you go into last stand and you're going to be number one on every match, you have come to the wrong place. You have really come to the wrong place. I've put in 120 days of game time into this game overall. I've grinded my way to a 99 Dark Zone rank, most of it as a solo player, and a lot of it through trial and error. But I learned a long time ago there is no magic gear set that's going to make you win. This Banshee, however, is one that has really boosted my game. It's taken me to that next level to where I might not win every engagement that I come across. Hell, there's some days I don't win half of the ones I come across. But if it wasn't for this gear set, I'd probably lose a lot more than I did. This one has a great armor roll of 1904. I got a better one here, but I got to put health on it. It's got stamina. It's going to be optimized for 1.8. Anyway, so back to this one. I got a nice firearms roll. I got 16,000 health. I had to roll that 9% skill haste. That is massively important, and I've already talked about it. 55% ammo capacity. So with the 2-piece, the 20% looted DZ funds. 3-piece gives you 10% damage to target out of cover. So here's the nice one, the 4-piece Banshee one. So this is while rogue, which if you like to go rogue, then power to you. But while rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. Damage taken from non-rogue players is reduced by 10%. So that's huge. Now, as long as those rogue players aren't running Banshee. If they're running Banshee, then there's no damage reduction. It's basically whatever you output, they take, and whatever they output, you take. And just like here, while not rogue, damage to rogue players is increased by 10%, which is huge. Now, if they're running a Banshee set, of course, y'all are going to cancel each other out. But here's where it comes into. This is where it really comes into factor. This bonus is increased to 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. That's huge. That is absolutely, that can give you 20% damage to them, or if they're running a Banshee, you get 10 extra percent, which they won't get the 10% anymore. Now you have the advantage over them. A couple interesting notes. If you are shot by a rogue and your recovery link activates, that's the same as being killed. I have to take that back. There's been a few times that it didn't crock the Banshee talent, but I think about 8 or 9 times out of 10, when my recovery link would go off, I would see the Banshee emblem in the bottom pop up, and I knew I'm getting that 20% damage. Or if I'm in a group and a rogue gets me in a down state, and then my teammate pops a recovery link and I get picked right back up, I got that emblem down there. And so you don't always have to actually be killed and respawn to get this to activate. Just sometimes having that, your recovery link going off or going into a down state will crock it. So, but these weapons right here, these are my main PvP weapons. Anyway, I have it going on here. The Navy MP5. Sometimes I like to change it for my Urban MDR. which is really nice. I have Adept and Deadly on it. They work great together. Distracted is awesome. You know, if I chunk a grenade, I'm not a big fan of the flame or shock turrets like a lot of people like to use. I'll use turrets in PvE. I've never been a turret or a seeker mine in PvP kind of person. I just, you know, if that's your game, more power to you. I've never been into that. I want a good old-fashioned let's go at each other type fight, but I will throw some grenades at your ass. As long as you're not wearing a final measure, then I ain't gonna try to help you out. But anyway, now I'm rambling again. So Adept, again, you already know what I've said about that. Is Adept is super important, and Deadly is extremely important. And the Urban NDR is just a fun weapon to use. But I love to use my 2 SMGs. You know, they don't do much damage, but when I pop that booster and put that pulse out, that 16k damage jumps up to about 20k damage, and them crits are just like every shot, sometimes every other shot, I'm critting, and crits are extremely powerful. If you really want to know, crits are the reason why you see people get taken down so fast. That is a must-have. You got to have some critical hits. Before I get into a little bit of examples on this gear, I just want to give y'all a couple tips that were not only given to me, but some of these I've come up on my own that I've had to learn through trial and error. There's a lot of people, including myself, that can breeze through PvE content, through challenging, through heroic, and through legendary, and it's not a challenge. You step foot against another player, and you just can't win. And it's like, what am I doing wrong? Why is my build not activated? I'm going to give you all a couple tips. This is not going to make you a better player overnight. Expect to still get frustrated. Okay, but as long as you follow these things and you keep trying, you're going to see progress. And progress is progress. It's leading in the right direction, okay? If you love the game the way I did, I didn't care anything about PvP. I only cared about PvE. But after a while, I got to a point where PvE got stale to me, and I did not want to give up on this game. So that's when I decided it's time to start learning how to go against other players. My first tip to give to people is to always be aware of your surroundings. Be alert at all times. Keep them pulse goings out. When you're running around, especially when you got gear on your back, always know your surroundings. Know what's going on. Keep an eye on that map. Look for, who's around, what's going on, landmarks around you that are cleared. Those are good indications of other players coming up. If you are in an area where there's a lot of rogues or you're being chased, don't run out into a wide open area. Do not run out into the middle of a road and take off running right down the middle of it, because you are just giving them a perfect opportunity to aim down sight and hit you with deadly accuracy. Use your environment. Use the environment you have to your advantage. Let me run around here real quick. Know the environment. Become extremely familiar. Find a couple of dark zone areas, DZ, 1, 2, and 3, or 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Find some that you really enjoy playing in, and learn every single nook and cranny of that area. That way, if something happens and you're being chased, or somebody goes rogue on you and you're in 6 or something, you run up to 7, now you're in your territory, every room, every cut through, every staircase, and you can either decide whether or not this is a good time to run and hide, or to lure them into, small places, into hallways, sharp turns. Those are great areas to fight other players. If you're running right out in the open, they got an advantage on you. A lot of times, if I'm being chased by a group of people, you'll see me take off running. Of course, when I run, I'm going to keep moving around as much as I can. This is like a horrible example to show you, because I ran right into a big open area. But one of my big things is as I'm running, I'll come up on a sharp turn here in a minute, like right here. I'll turn the corner, drop a grenade like that, and then wait for them to come. Bam. As soon as they come, they'll hit that. It'll stagger them. You can usually take them down. That works with multiple people. If you're one-on-one, you can do that. If you're going 1v3, this is when it becomes most effective. 1v2, 1v3, 1v4. You're bringing them into areas where they're compact, where one grenade can damage multiple of them at a time. You can take them all down. Take them out. And a lot of times what I found out is when you do that to people, a group of 3 or 4, unless they're extremely equipped and they have dedicated healers and whatnot, most of them usually turn and burn. They usually get out of there. They're like, I don't want no part of this. I'll see you later. Bullet King's coming up, so while we're here, let's go ahead and show you a little Bullet King action. Here we go. Alright, y'all, let's have a little bit of PvE fun here. Dang it, could have got them all with one clip. Could have done it. They went running. Just critting all the time. Nothing but crits. Ah, he didn't run farther. Alright, there we go. Just like that. Heals come back quick. Everything comes back quick. Well, that was going to be crappy stuff. Alright, so what I'm about to do, guys, I have a really good friend of mine. I asked him if I could send him an invite, let him join me. We'll go up to the DZ, I'll kick him from the group, and he'll go rogue on me just so you can see the power of the Banshee. Yeah. So I tell you what, let me go ahead and fast travel up to... Let's go right here. It's gonna be a good time to tell everyone I'm on PlayStation 4. My PSN handle is TSwandol. That's TSWANDOL. Feel free to send me messages, invites, friend requests. I'll never decline a friend request if I'm in a group. Sorry, the talking's getting on my nose here. If I'm in a group and I'm busy, or if I'm recording or something, I'll shoot you a message and just let you know that I'll send you an invite here in a little bit. My buddy Felix, the other day, he gave me a great shout out in his video, and man, I think the world of the guy. You know, that guy, him and his videos have really pushed me to that next level of gaming. It's made me love this game even more than I already have. A lot of the stuff his videos that I've watched, his build videos, is what brought me into the Dark Zone and got me into PvP. And what I did is, you know, he always encouraged you to not just go with what he goes with, but to find something that works for you, something that you enjoy, and you do it. And that's what I did. I played with these builds over and over, and you know, I found things that worked, things that didn't work, things that worked a week ago that don't work now because, you know, the meta starts to shift and things of that nature. And Felix has just been an amazing friend and just an amazing content creator for this game. I love to help people in this game. I love this game. Hell, I still need help in this game. But anyway, Friday night we had a couple people join that had watched the video that he gave me a shout out, and we were able to finish Dragon's Nest and Falcon Lost without dying, you know, the whole time. And it was just cool because one of the guys, I think it was his first time doing them on Heroic, and he was just so excited. He opened exotic caches real quick and then asked us what did we get, and I had to break it to him that I am currently saving for 1.8 right now. I would recommend everybody else. I played the PTS. The new exotics are awesome. The house and the Alejandro are every bit as powerful as people have talked about. So, you know, right now would be a great time. You need to be in the Dark Zone doing division tech farming. I've got 4,000. That is the cap. As soon as 1.8 comes out, I'm going to go optimize gear to get rid of some of them 4,000. Then I'm going to open all these exotics, because as you can see on my screen here, exotics come with 22 to 38 division tech. You know, I'd hate to log into 1.8, open all my exotic caches, get all these new exotics, but not get the division tech because I'm already maxed out. Go optimize some gear and lose all that division tech and not come back, pick it up on the ground, or log out and forget about it. So if you have exotic caches and you're maxed out, do not open them immediately. Go to the optimization table, go ahead and optimize some gear, then open them all, get your new exotics, and you know, yeah, then go recalibrate them and optimize them some more. Optimization's awesome. You guys are gonna love it. It's so much fun. But anyway, these things are very easy to do, especially the weeklies. If you need help getting them exotic caches, just let me know. We'll do some incursions. We'll do some legendaries. I don't even do all of them every week. I've done a couple here and there, you know, just for the sake of time, because I do have a full-time job. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm about to invite my buddy This is CB765. Great gamer, great dude. Yeah, he's a good friend too for going rogue on me. Hopefully. So anyway, give him an invite, and we are going to show you what the power of the Banshee can do.
New agent has joined your team.
There we are. What's up, buddy? We are live streaming.
All right.
Yes, sir. Just telling everyone how you're just such a good sport that you're gonna go rogue on me, so I can show you just how powerful the Banshee can really be. Yeah, I know. Hey, there he is. That's right. This is my man right here, CB. I just gave you a little shout out, so don't be surprised if you get flooded with hate mail. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, so yeah, what I was gonna do is come out here, and I came up here because I didn't see a lot of people up here right now. Yeah, actually there is people here. I think we're gonna be all right though. We're just gonna, yeah, they're doing the landmarks over on the other side. Pretty much just walk out here, and then it's gonna remove you from the group, have you shoot me a couple times, just go rogue, and then I'm gonna shoot you a few times, and then pulse you, and then show just the difference in crits and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll get you back on the group. If somebody comes and kills you or something like that, I don't know, I'll drop everything I get running with you tonight. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'll fight back though, so that's what's up. I think we're gonna be all right. I'm gonna roll with my lightweight M4. All right, everyone. So right now I'm gonna show y'all. My lightweight does 19.1K. Competent, responsive, and adept. 19.1K does not seem like crap. So yeah. All right. Let me remove you from my group. All right. Give me a shot.
Alert, an agent has left your team.
Alright, so now he's rogue. I can see those are not very strong hits. Pulse. Dang, look at that right there. That only took a few bullets out of it. Alright, go ahead. You can shoot me, son. Try to kill me. I don't know if you can hear me. One more time. Alright. Let me pick him up. Oh yeah. Alright, that's right, I forgot I can't do it. Alright, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Yeah! Alright, everybody, I killed my best friend, and now I'm mad. I'm really mad that I killed my best friend. So I'm gonna take myself down. No, I'm not. Ha! Alright, everyone, well, I want y'all to play with this, enjoy this. This is a really fun build. Dang it, I feel so bad now. And now I'm getting shot. There we go. Heals back. Where's he coming from? There he is. Yeah, there he is. Alright, so everybody, that was a complete and total dick move on my behalf. My bad, Jay. I was trying to invite you, and because you're a rogue, I couldn't invite you. And so there was no way to revive you. I had to just put you out. But like I said, now I got to give them all my gear. But anyways, everybody, appreciate you joining in. Another shout out to Robert F., guy who left some really, really nice comments. I appreciate it, bud. I've been sick this week. My allergies been going crazy, and so I haven't been able to really get on. But I read the comments you wrote out. that really meant a lot and giving me some encouragement to go on, keep going on. So I want to give you a shout out, and then my good buddy CB right here, man. I appreciate you, I really do. This guy right here has definitely been my right hand man at this game for a long time. If you're on PS4 and you are looking for a friend, well, you see the name right there, so the whole world can now see who you are. But no, for real, he's a really good dude, and from day one we've kind of been inseparable. We've rode together and we've died together many a times. We've been frustrated. We've rage quit. I think the only thing I haven't done is break any controllers because they're so damn expensive for PS4 controllers. So I try not to throw them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, another shout out to Felix the Other and everyone else. This has been my Banshee Tactician build. I will see y'all later.